Josh Hamilton. Another one gone. Oh, this one is toward the moon.
1 minute, he's launching 500-foot home runs and smiling under stadium lights. The next, he's gone, vanished from the headlines, forgotten by the fans. This is the story of Josh Hamilton, Major League Baseball's most unforgettable redemption turned tragedy. In 2010, Josh Hamilton was the face of baseball. Not just because he crushed the ball harder than anyone else, but because he was the comeback story everyone rooted for. He had battled addiction, he had survived years away from the game, and against all odds, he rose to the top, an MVP with a swing as smooth as a symphony and a heart fans could believe in. But just a few short seasons later, it all collapsed. The power faded, the demons returned, and the man once celebrated as a walking miracle slowly disappeared from the sport he once dominated. How does a #1 draft pick, MVP, and 5-time All-Star go from the pinnacle of professional sports onto probation, injuries, and headlines for all the wrong reasons? In this video, we uncover the rise, fall, and heartbreaking disappearance of Josh Hamilton. And by the end, you'll see why his legacy is still one of the most haunting in all of sports. Josh Hamilton wasn't just talented, he was gifted in a way that felt otherworldly. Born in Raleigh, North Carolina in 1981, he grew up faster than the kids around him, taller, stronger, more coordinated. By the time he reached high school, he was already a walking highlight reel. At 6'4" and nearly 200 pounds, Hamilton had a cannon for an arm, throwing 96 miles per hour and a swing that launched baseballs into the clouds. In just 25 games during his senior season, he hit 13 home runs. Scouts didn't just notice, they were mesmerized. Some called him the most complete prospect they'd ever seen. And in 1999, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays made it official, first overall pick in the MLB Draft. He signed for $3.96 million, a record at the time. His parents believed in his dream so deeply, they quit their jobs to travel with him full-time. Josh had always been their world, and now baseball was his. On the surface, everything looked perfect. A teenage phenom, a loving family, a sky-high future, but deep down, Hamilton was still just a kid trying to navigate a world built for grown men. He was disciplined on the field, but unprepared for the pressure, the fame, and the isolation that would follow. And before long, that perfect image began to crack. In early 2001, fate took a hard left turn. Hamilton and his parents were involved in a car accident. His mother suffered serious injuries, and his father had to return home to care for her. For the first time in his life, Josh Hamilton, just 19 years old, was completely on his own. Gone were the road trips with his family, the comfort of familiarity. Instead, there were hotel rooms, lonely nights, and a growing sense of emptiness he didn't know how to fill. He later said, "Baseball and my parents were all I had. When I lost them, I looked for something to fill the hole." That something started as casual drinking. Then it turned into painkillers, then cocaine, then crack. He spiraled fast. The golden boy with the $1 million arm was now fighting demons no one could see, and few believed existed. The game he loved began to fade into the background, replaced by parties, strangers, and substances that promised relief but delivered ruin. By 2003, those demons caught up with him. Hamilton failed his first drug test. In 2004, Major League Baseball suspended him for the entire season, an unprecedented fall for someone once considered the future of the sport. By the end of 2005, Josh Hamilton hadn't played professional baseball in over 3 years. "I'd go months without picking up a bat," he admitted. "I honestly thought I'd never play again." For most athletes, that would have been the end. A tragic cautionary tale about wasted talent and addiction. But for Josh Hamilton, rock bottom wasn't where his story ended, it was where it began again. Because in 2006, after losing everything, Josh Hamilton picked up a broom instead of a bat. He started cleaning bathrooms at a baseball academy in Florida. But what happened next didn't just shock the coaches, it shocked all of Major League Baseball. Hamilton stayed sober. He got clean. He leaned on his faith, his family, and a second chance. That same year, MLB reinstated him. In 2007, at 26 years old, he finally made his big league debut with the Cincinnati Reds, and when he stepped up to the plate, it was like he never left. He hit 19 home runs in just 90 games. The fans roared, the media took notice. The legend was just beginning. In 2008, he was traded to the Texas Rangers, and that's where the myth of Josh Hamilton truly began. In 2008, Hamilton exploded. He led the league in RBIs. His swing was a thing of beauty, effortless, powerful, poetic. He appeared on the cover of Sports Illustrated, but nothing compared to what he did at the Home Run Derby that year. In front of a stunned Yankee Stadium crowd, Hamilton launched 28 home runs in a single round. 28, fans wept. Players stood and clapped. He had gone from rehab to the roar of 50,000 fans in less than 2 years. By 2010, he was the undisputed best player in baseball, batting .359, smashing 32 home runs, leading the Rangers to the postseason for the first time in 11 years. He won the American League MVP, and when the Rangers celebrated, they did it with ginger ale, not champagne, just for him. It was the kind of story you write in Hollywood. But in 2011, tragedy struck again. A fan, trying to catch a ball Josh tossed, fell from the stands and later died. Hamilton was devastated, and in the World Series that year, the Rangers lost in heartbreaking fashion, just one strike away from the championship, twice. After that, something shifted. Josh began to slip again, the pain was back, the weight returned, and even though no one could see it just yet, the magic was starting to fade. Then came May 8th, 2012. Camden Yards. Josh Hamilton stepped into the batter's box and made history. 4 home runs, 1 game. Only 16 players in MLB history had ever done it. He also hit a double, finishing 5 for 5 with 18 total bases, the most ever in a single game. It wasn't just a performance, it was poetry. A love letter to the game he once lost. The crowd, even the opposing fans, stood and cheered like they were watching something sacred. For one night, Josh Hamilton reminded the world who he was. But it would also be the last time he ever looked like that Josh Hamilton. After the season, he signed a massive deal with the Los Angeles Angels. 5 years, $125 million. It was supposed to be his victory lap. Instead, it became a slow-motion disaster. The swing was slower, the injuries piled up, the numbers dipped, and the whispers returned. In 2014, after undergoing shoulder surgery, he relapsed again. The Angels released a cold statement expressing serious concerns about Josh's conduct. Just like that, the franchise gave up. In 2015, they traded him back to Texas. One final chance, one last shot. But the game had already moved on, and so had Josh's body. He suited up for a few more games, but the magic was gone. His body broke down. His bat went quiet. He missed all of 2016. In 2017, the Rangers released him, quietly without ceremony. No retirement press conference, no final at-bat. The man who once brought stadiums to their feet exited baseball in complete silence. In 2019, Hamilton's name returned to the headlines. This time, not for baseball, but for an alleged assault involving his daughter. The man who had once overcome so much had fallen again, harder than ever. In 2021, he pleaded guilty to unlawful restraint. He was sentenced to probation. The Golden Boy was now a cautionary tale. Josh Hamilton was a 5-time All-Star, an MVP, a man who overcame hell to become a hero, if only for a moment. But his story was never just about baseball. It was about trauma, about addiction, about resilience and relapse. He showed us that demons don't vanish just because you make it to the top. Sometimes, they wait for you there. And in the end, Hamilton's story asks a painful but necessary question. Was he a hero who lost his way, or a man we expected too much from too soon? So, what do you think Josh Hamilton's legacy should be? Leave your thoughts down below. We read every comment. And if stories like this move you, if you believe sports are about more than stats and trophies, then hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We've got more deep dives coming into the legends, the lost, and the lives behind the lights. Thanks for watching. Until next time.